What's up, guys? Appreciate you stopping by the shop today. My name's Danny, and in this video we're going to take a look at a couple of products from Let's Resin. Check it out. Alright, I first want to start off this video by just clarifying I have spent my own personal money on these products. I have not taken any kind of endorsement, sponsorship, none of that. I have chosen to go out and purchase these products on my own free will. I will include links down in the description for everything that you see in the video today. I ended up purchasing the 1 gallon package on Amazon directly from the Let's Resin store. This was right around $50 for 1 gallon. Which isn't a terrible price, in my opinion. I've seen it, cheaper from other, not this brand, but I've seen other brands a little bit cheaper. But I have wanted to try this one out, just so that way, I can get a feel for how this product actually is. They say that the epoxy, is one of the clearest, or that's what their claims are anyway. So I just wanted to put that to the test myself. I also ended up purchasing, let me close this back up here. Also ended up purchasing the 36 color mica powder pigment set that they offer. This was also a reasonable price. I can't remember exactly how much it was. I feel like it was around $20 for the 36 colors on there. Looks like it comes with a couple little scoops for the pigment. We'll just set those over here. Sorry, with the resin, you actually get stir sticks, a couple pumps for each half gallon, and then you get a couple of measuring cups for that also. Comes with the user manual, instructions on how to mix it, and so on. All right. So part A, part B, it is a 1-to-1 mixture ratio. So we will get that. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can do this. And can I do it without making a giant mess of everything? Maybe. There we go. So I don't know if you guys can see all those. This is just the variety of colors that it comes with. This is in the 36 color package again. Quite the color variations in those. Okay, so one of the things that I was wanting to accomplish in this video was I wanted to determine how clear or bubble free the epoxy claim is. Once it's fully cured. I will end up testing out probably one of the pigments or a couple of the pigments just for kicks and giggles. We will be utilizing the pressure pot that I put together in a previous video. I'll leave a link to that video on here. And so I will be utilizing that. I have not had a chance to test it out, so this is kind of a multi-purpose video here. We're gonna test out this product, and then we're also gonna test out the quality of our pressure pot and just see how it actually affects the epoxy. So let's just jump into this. I am gonna go ahead and pull out the dark green. This is actually my father-in-law's favorite color. So I wanted to go ahead and just give that one a try. There's a possibility in another video that we will be making our own pen blanks. My son has really enjoyed creating pens for family members. He's done a couple of them now. And so I think my father-in-law is the next one up. So hopefully he's not watching this. I doubt he is, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and get the rest of these pigments put away and start the test. let's go ahead and pull some gold in there too. All right, let's get some gloves on here. I feel like getting epoxy and pigment all over my hands today. One thing I do like noticing right off the bat, you know, the half-gallon jugs come with the pumps, which is fantastic. I've been using a different brand. It does not have these pump heads on them, which is fine. It's still, you know, the brand is still a good quality brand, but you know, these things do make it much more convenient. That's for sure. All right, so this is just a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's get these things measured out here. That's mixed up pretty well. Let's go ahead and utilize these little cups that they have. Separate out a little of the epoxy for our pigments. Pigments are just for a little fun. Not really looking to do a lot with them. So for this 20 milliliters, I've used about 1 scoop. That comes with the pigment in each one. Again, this isn't so much a test of, you know, how good the pigment or anything like that is. This mica powder, this stuff works well. And really this is just to give some interesting contrast to the resin, the clear resin. Once we pour that in our little molds, these are just a couple of empty applesauce containers. I figured, you know what, I'll just use those things. I don't have any small molds that I can utilize for this test, so I figured I'll just use some of our paste wax and coat those things, and we'll just try that. All right, so I'm gonna let all of these things sit for a few minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the paste wax in our molds here, and then we'll get to pouring. All right, it's been a few minutes. A lot of the air bubbles have released out of this, which is great. I haven't used a blowtorch or anything like that to pop the air bubbles. I'm just kind of letting it go naturally for now. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the clear poured in here. Try to get it as close to even as I can. So one of these I'm going to put in the pressure pot. The other one I'm going to just leave out on the counter. I will put a cover on it though, so that way it stays relatively dust free. So that way this is a true side-by-side comparison for what the actual pressure, for what effect the pressure pot actually has on it. Let's see how even we are here. It's pretty close. All right, we'll just go ahead and take this and just give a little bit of movement to it. Not really trying to mix it up, just give some movement to the actual pigment in here. All right. Now let's get one of these in the pressure pot. All right, grab the air hose. Okay. So we're now sitting 50 psi on that. I will get a little cover on this just to keep any dust and debris from falling on it. And we'll check back here in a few hours. All right. Well, welcome back. It's been right about 5.5 hours since I mixed this up and poured it in. I haven't released this one yet, but I figured to go ahead and get that one done and out. Let's go ahead and get that out of here. So interesting enough, this one actually feels a little softer than this one. This is the one that's been sitting out in room temperature. This is the one that was in the pressure pot. I mean, looking at them, this one does appear, this one is definitely clearer, just based on still sitting in the mold. This one's definitely clearer, but this one is not cured as much. This one is actually fairly hard. I mean, if I push really hard on this, it's gonna mush just a little, but it's not so much to where I'm concerned with it. This one, like just touching this one's quite soft. I don't actually want to try to take this one out just yet. I think it might still want to deform. I don't know that this epoxy is set up enough on the inside here where it's not gonna make a giant mess if I take it out of the mold. Yeah, it's quite soft. I think what I'm gonna do is just let this one sit out. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's definitely cooler in this than it is sitting out here. So I'm wondering if just the compressed air, I don't know, is it cooler temperature? You guys tell me. I have no idea. That's quite interesting that they've been sitting the same room 6 inches away from each other, yet this one's cured enough to come out of the mold and this one isn't. It's interesting. But just looking at them, like I said, this one that was in the pressure pot is definitely clearer. Not that this one's bad, but the pigments in this seem less muddy than this. There definitely seems to be more separation in the colors in the pigments. Yeah, that's quite interesting. But like I said, I'm gonna let this sit out for a little while longer. I'm just gonna let them both sit right here. We'll just go ahead and plop that back there and let them sit here for a little while, and then we'll come back and take a look at it here in, I don't know, probably another couple hours. So I'll see you back here in just a little while. All right, guys, so it is the next day. The epoxy was poured right about 34 hours ago. So the one on the right, this one over here, the one on the right, that's the one that was in the pressure pot. The one on the left, that is the one that was just left out in the open to cure. So looking close, I really hope you guys can see the difference on camera between the two. I really feel like the one on the right is a lot clearer. You can definitely see the color variation better. It's less muddy. You can see here on the one on the left, that's the one that was out in the open air. You can see the little micro bubbles in there. Then moving over here, I don't really see any little bubbles or anything in that. I've got a little light here. I'm gonna just do a little clarity test. Hopefully it doesn't just blow out the camera. Like, you could just see kind of the color difference in these. So there you have it. You know, in my opinion, this Let's Resin, it seems like it's a good quality product. You know, I mean, even just leaving it out in the open, you still get a good quality pour or casting. This hasn't been sanded or anything like that. This is just the way that it came out of the mold. I'm sure if you were to sand it and buff it and all that, you'd end up with, you know, a really good product, good finished product, that is. But then when you compare that to the one that was in the pressure pot, I mean, it's hands down, this one's just a lot cleaner, a lot crisper. Again, this has not been buffed or sanded in any way. This is just how it came out of the mold. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with how these went. You know, again, these were just, you know, some basic little applesauce containers that my son had left over after he had eaten the applesauce. And I figured, you know what, may as well put them to use and do a little test. So overall, I like the product. It was fully cured. I was able to demold both of these within 5 hours. This one took a little bit longer to cure than this one did, which was interesting. But I'm still really happy with the product, even from just an open air standpoint. You know, I bet there's ways that you can get the air bubbles out of that a little bit better. But yeah, definitely happy with the pressure pot. It did a great job. So if you guys did like this video, I appreciate you smacking that like button. It definitely helped the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.